Now we have seen how to write the Hello World program. Let me explain the code that I have shown you in the previous video. So here in Spyder, I have the code for hello.py. Now the first two lines that you see in here is what we call comments. So these two lines over here, these are called comments. Now comments are used to describe what the code does. They are not really part of your program because they are ignored by the interpreter. So comments are actually doesn't cause the computer to perform any actions. If you change or remove comments, your program behavior remains the same. Now, how do you know that these are comments? Because they both start with the hash character. So anything that starts with a hash character is going to be considered as a comment, and it's going to be ignored by the Python interpreter. Now usually you will come across two types of comments. You're gonna have, or you will see single line comments, single line, because they are written in one single line only, and these are example of single line comments. So these are single line comments. You also will see or you'll come across what we call multi line comments. Now, unlike other programming languages, Python doesn't really have a special kind of characters for multi-line comments. Actually, you will write multi-line comments as strings, and we call them triple quoted strings. So let me show you how to write a multi-line comment in Python. So this is what a multi-line comment will look like usually in Python. It will actually going to be written as a string. So you will start a triple quoted string. We call it triple quoted because you will write triple quotes, and then you will write whatever text that you want to put in here. So for example, you will put some long copy write text in more than one line, and then you will end it with triple quotes. Now this is actually a string in Python, and you could use it and you could store it in variables and you could process it, or you could do some further processing for it. But if it appears like this, separate from anything else in a place by its own, the compiler, or sorry, the interpreter will ignore it. So this can be considered somewhat as a multi-line comments. So that's a multi-line. These are comments in Python. So you have single line and multi-line comments. Apart from comments, the only other line that we have in the Hello World program is the line which makes a function call to the print function. And it is this line right here. So this is a function call. And in this case, it's making a call to the built-in print function, which basically displays whatever arguments that is given to it. And in this case, the argument that is given to the print function is the string hello world. Now a string is basically a sequence of characters which is enclosed between double quotations or single quotations. So it's not necessary that you enclose your strings between double quotations. You can also put them between single quotations. So I could replace these two double quotations with single quotations, and the behavior of my program will be exactly the same. Now note that one of the things you need to do when you're writing or when you're calling functions is that you need to make sure that you put or use parentheses or delimit your arguments with parentheses. So whatever arguments that you are going to pass to the function has to be between opening and closing parentheses. And this is, as we said, is basically a string, and it's just one single argument. So this whole thing is just one single argument that is given to the print function. So this is our first program, which basically contains, as we've seen, comments and just a function call which is in this case, you know, displays something to the screen, and in this case it displays a string of characters to the output screen.